Soul Garden.
Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together this week. Well, the sun is in Leo, and we are chugging along in late Chapter 2 and hopping into Master Shui Chapter 3. We're focused on our heart chakra, our love, what we love about ourselves and others. So we're falling in love with ourselves this week, and we're moving into light casting our personal dreams. That is, being what we expect to come through the law of attraction. The moon starts in sensitive Libra on Sunday, Monday, then gets a little intense in Scorpio on Tuesday, where we have to draw some emotional boundaries, then skips along in jolly Sag Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday, it will hit that T-square in Capricorn, so that's intense. The moon signs most affected are Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, Sag, Gemini, and the Cancer, Capricorn spectrum are particularly affected at the end of the week. Now looking at our orbits, man, and which of our chakras are most affected this week. Jupiter, of course, is doing some intensity there in the third chakra, causing a lot of stomach issues for people. The sun orbiting the heart chakra, so those with heart conditions better shape up right now. And the moon this week begins in the throat chakra, so there's a lot of communication in the beginning, and we move up through the nose and the sinuses to the third eye. So you'll have some psychic dreams by the end of the week, and those people who have migraine issues or issues with sinuses might have issues if you are ignoring your feelings, basically. That's how that all works. Looking at the planets, we still have this wondrous grand trine in water that's affecting us. This is going to continue. Now, this is going to be most affected when the moon crosses over Saturn later in the week, and that will cause an emotional trust issue to be changed, and that will, of course, affect Neptune and Jupiter Lilith there at the bottom. That square, that infamous square, is still in effect, Uranus and Pluto wreaking havoc, but Uranus is the real strong part of it, where you have to innovate your personal strength or character. And this T-square, this is getting a lot of press, and this is where the moon is going to cross over Pluto at the end of the week and light this Christmas tree up, which means you'll have to kind of change some emotional rules you have with yourself. Now, looking at a little bit of a close-up here, as the moon crosses Saturn, that's the moment later this week where you'll have to draw some new emotional boundaries with yourself, and Saturn's progressed to step 6. That's the galactic center there it's crossing. And then the moon at the end of the week crosses Pluto, hitting that T-square, so we're going to have a lot of adjustment of our lives, coming to a new settling as a result of these two moon planet crossings, and just where the sun is with our heart. More on that, of course, when we go upstairs. In fact, let's do that now, shall we? Let's take the ascension elevator up and get a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Hello, my Tauruses, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. The sun is in Leo, and the Tauruses and the Taurus risings are focusing on the home, family, and foundation. You are to be royal in your castle if you're to go out and manifest out there in the world, and you are literally upgrading your personal relationship to your feelings. Now, this week we're going to move from that into the broad range of an emotional foundation that serves you and clearing out any last emotional weeds that may be happening in the house, home, family, roommates, or even spouse if it's causing issues at home or love affairs. Also, speaking of spouses, Saturn is moving ahead in Scorpio. So another story for Tauruses deals with the way they relate to themselves. It's a new day in the Mirageville of Taurus and Taurus risings. And this week, it's time to create peace in yourself. Also, you're ascending and shifting on a spiritual level when it comes to where you play yourself out in the world. Your social relationships and whatnot are shifting to more of a spiritual front. And as always, Uranus and that darn opposition and square, that T-square, is forcing you to innovate your personal faith. Not my favorite part of the game. So as we start this week, we move into chapter 2 of Sun in Leo, and that we move into chapter 2 and chapter 3, excuse me, and that means that you're going to move from dedicating and committing to a home family foundation that works for you to moving into the passionate master shui of having a foundation that allows you to feel passionate about life without any insecurities. So getting out of the moodiness and into the directed passion. The sun moves from taking action in your home on Sunday to squatting in a spiritual pose and holding space for the best outcome by the following Sunday. So it's action to spiritual posing. Mercury joins a party, so your thoughts get very clear and conversation begins to open up in the home family or foundation, maybe some serious conversation on Sunday to action based on words the following Sunday. And Mars is still pushing for that new emotional attitude, also making you a bit trigger happy with your mouth, maybe thinking through your mouth and saying too much. But you are hopefully holding space for a new emotional attitude this week and beginning to heal old mind games that are triggering in your head with Jupiter there in Cancer. Now Saturn, the mirage, is moving forward to the next step 6. This means it's now time to be emotionally responsible with yourself, to maintain peace in your life, to stand up and be a good husband or wife to you. Now this turns into having good husbands or wives in our lives, but first we must focus on our mirage to get the marriages that we want. So taking it up a notch with Saturn, meaning you're having to be more strong and be more responsible with your own emotional boundaries with yourself. So being strong, speaking up, those types of things I think is what we're talking about here. So taking a quick peek at last week it was about light cast day, where on Tuesday you had to kind of cast where you wanted home family, you wanted emotions to be, how you want it to be centered in your emotional field, and then taking a step forward with the right attitudes or the right communication to pull that off. This week, the love story, whoops, went a little too far there. This week, the love story takes off with action on Sunday. So on Sunday, you're going to take action and move forward with Home Family Foundation. That might be moving forward to go buy a new bed. This might be having important conversations with people around you. This might be having important conversations with family. But you're taking action to create that super cushion pillow royal foundation so you can manifest. All right. At the same time, it's a new attitude in your mind about not worry anymore, and that's mostly due to the fact that you're maintaining boundaries, so there's no reason to worry if you have maintained all of your boundaries and policed all your boundaries. And Neptune retrograde means you're really having to ask God, universe, just where you lie or where you should stand with friendships or personal place in society. So that is really the start of the week. Now on Monday, the moon begins to move into Scorpio, so feelings get very reserved when it comes to your mirage. You might get emotional with your mirage. You might get emotional with relationships. On Tuesday, you get very emotional with relationships, and you become very passionate, Master Shui. This is where you're kind of being tested on that home family foundation that you've been working on. So on Tuesday, you were tested on this. Now remember, with Neptune at 4 retrograde, spiritual miracles are possible all week long, particularly when you meditate, do yoga, or log into your higher self. So logging in is only a good thing, especially when things get super passionate, all right? And with Jupiter at 10 degrees, this is a loving and trusting mindset, but it doesn't really stick until it hits 11 at the end of the week. So Tuesday is a passionate, kind of shaky day. Wednesday gets very personal, and so does Thursday. The moon moves into Sagittarius, so Tauruses get very vulnerable, personal. Taurus risings do too. You might get a little randy depending on how things are going. But Thursday is a quantum breakthrough. We've got Uranus running up and down and ruling the whole day on all three spectrums. You've got Neptune at 4 degrees, you've got the mind at 13, and then the sun in Leo at 22. This quantum breakthrough day is a real potential shifting. For those people who've been honoring their boundaries with themselves and honoring their mirage, this would be a quantum breakthrough day on Thursday. For those who don't honor their marriage or don't listen, or their mirage, I should say, or marriage if you're cheating, or for those who are not listening to their higher self when it comes to their placement around friends and society, Thursday could be a breakdown day without breakthrough till Friday or Saturday, depending on when reality kind of catches up. So in other words, the more you're relying yourself or not enforcing your own personal boundaries with your own relationship to yourself and the vows you have given yourself in life, the harder it's going to be on Thursday and the more of an eye-opener you have coming. Either way, everyone gets through by Friday or so, okay? And on Saturday, though, the moon does move into Capricorn. And so this moon in Capricorn shifts emotions out of the vulnerability of Sagittarius, but then makes your feelings really focused on belief and whatnot. And as the moon crosses Pluto, strikes that T-square, for you, it is a quantum kind of earthquake between beliefs, mind games, and inner faith. So really, I think it's interfaith. You have to innovate interfaith to release that T-square. Innovate interfaith to not fall into a huge argument between your thoughts and your beliefs. And what are you arguing about? Well, something at home, something about emotional security, something about connecting to yourself. That's what you're arguing with about. And on Saturday, you can come to a resolve, again, if you innovate your interfaith. Taking a sneak peek at next week, it's a very cloudy day on Sunday, but the real pivot point is Tuesday, Wednesday, literally a full moon overnight through the next day. This is where you do your final releasing of your soul karma for the Sun and Leo transit. So an intense day coming next week. So getting grounded back onto Earth for a second. Hey, come on down to Guided Hangouts where I'm helping you step into your power. People tell me these are great. It's called Practical Wizardry, and it's live at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you come into my studio audience, you can ask questions, you can interact. Otherwise, I release it about a week later. Speaking of release, Jumpstart the Heart. This is a 90-minute seminar that I do on weekends. It's only $34.95, and in 90 minutes in front of me on a webcam with a bunch of other people, maybe 8 or 9, we break through and open our heart back up. And so if you're stuck with manifestation, if you're stuck with girlfriends or boyfriends or anything in that, come to Jumpstart the Heart. People get opened in just 90 minutes. I have testimonials. And this September, Lightcast Bootcamp is coming up. This is where I teach from zero to Jedi. Just saying, kind of pencil it in for yourself. And you got 2 weeks left with Serious Joy readings. For $99.99, I will read you, I will help you get on your Serious Joy path, and I will send you an MP3 to remind you. All of these great products do keep me on the air, so I appreciate it for those who do invest, even the smallest amount, and they're available at soulmart.me. All right, my fellow bulls, that's all I have for this week. Good luck, moo moo buckaroo, and I'll see you in 7 more. Until then, live, love, be.